Hello, everyone. It's Phil Jones, and joining me is Mr. Boyle. So, Phil, how are you?
I'm doing good, Phil. How are you? It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Lots of topics that I would love to talk to you about. One of them was something that you and I had a conversation about a couple of days ago. You see a lot of big direct LED displays, and you still see projectors. And we were talking earlier about why would you choose one display device over another? And in the next few weeks, we are going to cover that topic in more detail.
Yes.
But that made me think about an exhibit that I went to that kind of reinforces why you need both technologies. And I want to talk to you a little bit about it.
Well, do tell.
So Phil, have you ever heard of this thing called dataLand?
I have not heard of dataLand. What is dataLand?
So dataLand, they call it the Museum of AI Arts. So a couple of weeks ago, I got an invite from Epson, who's one of the sponsors, to come to this exhibit in a museum called, I think it's called LA Grand. It's in downtown LA. And what it is it's an interactive AI museum. And basically, think of the building as a giant computer. And what it does is it monitors the world. There's sensors all over the world. And based on the information it gets, like rain patterns in the rainforest in Brazil, it actually generates digital art. And then on top of that, it monitors you and creates art based on how the building sees how you're interacting with the art. But before I go through that, let me just play the trailer, and then we'll talk about what this thing is, because it was really, really cool. So here's the promo.
Oh, I want to go. I want to go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's opening June 20th, but they gave the press the opportunity to actually come and see it early. And I love these type of projection-related interactive displays. So I've been to places like Teen Labs in Japan, where they actually utilize a lot of projectors to create these environments. So that's what I kind of expected this to be, but this was at another level when it comes to all of the things that were going on. So the first thing that was really slick is it's all AI. So of course it monitors you. It knows what's going on with every single person in the building, what's going on in the world, how you're interacting with the world, and then it generates art based on that. Well, how do I monitor you? So what they did was, when you first showed up, you go into a room and they give you a wristband, and then they give you this thing that goes around your neck. The wristband monitors you, and the thing that goes around your neck actually generates smells or scents based on the perfumes and chemicals that it can generate. And those perfumes are based on what it thinks you'll like and how it believes it would better enhance your personal experience in this space. So it was really slick. So you would walk in here and they would give you this a little case, and you'd open up the case, and inside of the case you'd have this little thing that goes around your head that said dataLand on it, and then you would get a wristband. And then that wristband you would put on, and it would do things like monitor your heart rate and basically how you're interacting with the space. And also, because of these two devices, the system could track you. So not only it knew what you liked, where you were at, how you responded to that particular piece of art at that particular time. So incredibly well done. But in order to do this, they couldn't do it with just flat panel displays.
Right.
They needed projection. So the first room I'm going to show you is the room that was dedicated to projection. And this one, you get your wristband, and then you go down these stairs into this room that had 88 projectors in it. And this is what the room actually looked like. So it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little itty bitty guy way off in the distance.
Yeah.
And there is 88 projectors in the ceiling and on the walls that are perfectly blended together. And it could generate all of this in all these different environments. This, my friend, is impossible to do with a flat panel. You just could not do this scale.
No.
And but this room it was gigantic, bigger than a high school basketball gym. And as you walked around, it literally would do things like track you. Diane was walking around the room. It made a little circle around her, and it followed her around the space and tracked her as she went through the whole environment and showed you your status. There were things on the floor, and you could step on them, and they'd run away. Or you'd walk up to a wall, and it would track you, and you would see like a ghost of yourself. It was an amazing, amazing experience. And that room worked because of the projection. You needed to have the projectors there so you could basically interact with the space and you couldn't, and in order to display an image that big. They said the data was it was insane, like 30 or 40 times more than what they use for the Sphere. Side of the Sphere in Las Vegas, the resolution was just insane. And they were using, they said they were using over 80 projectors, and they were double stacking these gigantic, super high lumen Epson projectors to get the brightness that the artist wanted to achieve in this particular space. I've seen this stuff. This is just a better version of what I saw at Teen Labs, when you add the AI and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, well, cool. That means you should always just use projection. And then we walk into a room that was called the Infinity Room. And imagine taking a 25-foot by 25-foot direct LED display and putting one in the front of the room, on the ceiling, on the floor, and on the back wall. So when you walk into the space, you're completely immersed. So the journey was, in this room, you were a bird flying through the jungle or through the Amazon, and it looked like this.
So these are LED displays.
Yep. On the floor and on the ceiling. So no shadows, no reflections, and you just basically fly through this thing. And you're traveling with a bird, and the bird would be below you and then fly in front of you. It was almost disorienting because it felt like you were in this world of things just flying all around the space. It was incredible. Moving on from that, after it did all of this stuff, it would generate a piece of art based on how the audience interacted. You'd walk in, you see this giant screen that showed where everybody could see where they were in the building throughout the journey. Every step, you went here, you went there, this is the area you went, this is how you walked around the room, this is where you were excited. And based on your experience as a group, let me make a custom piece of art for your group. So the group behind us, their piece was completely different than our piece, right? And that was at least a 30-foot tall direct LED wall. It looked like it was art in a frame, and then it was the art was creeping out of the frame as it was doing its actual art presentation. There's some other interactive displays. We can't get through all of it, but it's because we don't have enough time. And then on the way out, they have another room where there was a robot, and they picked one person, and after they picked that one person, the robot based on that person's experience, actually painted art. Was doing an oil painting of this person's experience. By the way, as you were walking through here, you had that little scent thing in. So
Right.
when you're in the jungle, you get this fragrance, and you smell flowers, and it's making all of these different combinations of smells that only you could smell because everybody had their own sensory device on. So at the end, all of the scents were done by L'Oreal. So they had people
course.
there saying, of course. So they had people there talking about how they extracted the scent, from the flowers or wherever they got them from nature without impacting the flower. So they have a way now of extracting the scent of a flower without touching the flower. There was another robot that would look at your experience and what fragrances you liked. And then based on your reaction, it could build you a custom fragrance that you could take home as a souvenir. So between the smell, the visuals, the bass, and the immersive of the sound, how the room interacted with you, it was like an amazing experience. So it's called dataLand in LA, and that is at the LA Grand in the heart of downtown. Really, really cool experience if
Right.
you are into interactive activities. But it really does show, like I said, Phil, the difference between why you need a direct LED display and why you need projection. First thing you see is that projection room, and you go, oh my
Right.
gosh, this is the most amazing thing in the world. I understand why you would use projection, because projection was the only way that they could do that. Then you go to this direct LED display, and you go, okay, that's the only way that I can complete you and immerse you that way, right?
Sure.
I'm sure both rooms cost about the same, millions of dollars, right? But it just showed that you could have two different orientations.
I think it also highlights the divide because certainly, I mean, all of the gear I'm sure they were using was pro gear, but it's easier to do more of that kind of stuff with a projector, and I would probably imagine more affordably than the big giant LED screens, because those you said it was 25 by 25.
Yeah.
Those are, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands, and more fragile. And this is going to be a pretty permanent installation. So it'll be.
That's what I was
there
going to
for-
ask, is how long is it going to be there? Okay.
They said they've done these around the world, and millions of people have already attended.
Sure.
So this one's probably going to be there for a couple of years. So that means, bringing in those display walls, the amount of tech, the power required to drive those. That is something that if you're going to have it sitting there permanently, it makes perfect sense, right? But eventually you get to a certain size. So that room was impressive. We had 15, 20 people in that room, about 15 people in that room, and there was still plenty of space. But compared to the other room, where you could easily have 100 people.
Yeah, that
and
first
get that
space
same
seemed
experience.
huge. It seemed huge.
It was massive.
Yeah.
And just
You can only do
as
that
you
with
walk-
projectors.
You can only do that with projectors. And that actually comes back to the other news. One of the reasons why Epson wanted me to come to this was they are actually getting into the direct LED display business. They announced a new lineup of dvLED displays that they're going to be launching at InfoComm. Epson is the biggest supporter of projection out there.
Yeah.
But even they realize that if you have a hotel lobby or you have an art exhibit where you have uncontrolled lighting, a direct LED display is probably going to be a better option.
Makes
But
sense.
if you walk into a big, corporation, you may see a direct LED display in the lobby, but then in the big conference room, it's probably going to be a super high-end projector, and then you walk through the different meeting rooms, and it can be a combination of projectors and displays. So being able to be a one-stop shop makes sense. So Epson at dataLand were just the projector supplier, and they had another partner that did the flat panel displays. Epson also still realizes that they need to come up with some solutions as well. And they're not trying to be everything
sense.
for everyone. If you're just looking for a 65-inch TV to show a menu, that's not what that's not these Epson pieces.
Got it.
If you're looking for a 25-foot by 25-foot 8K giant thing to use as a backdrop for The Mandalorian, that is not their that's not their goal as well. They just want to kind of find that middle ground where 130, 140, 150, and then after that they'll say, hey, go to a projector. It's probably going to be better bang for your buck and better dollar for dollar. So as you can see, there's multiple reasons why you would go back and forth in professional. That also applies in consumer applications. And in future videos, Phil and I are going to cover that.
There's a great article about that right now because this is an ongoing conversation. This is not a new conversation, but there's a great article up on projectorreviews.com where we talked about it. I think it went up 2 years ago. So we'll be updating that with, sort of the state of the now and how does that affect our answers. And were there some use cases or situations that we didn't think of? I'm sure there are.
Exactly. But right now there's still a certain point where when you get to the size and scale, projection is going to be the only solution. But there's some things that a direct LED display is going to be better at. And that is like combating ambient light. And we will cover that more in the future. But I just want to tell you, Phil, about the two things. Epson announcing their new dvLED or direct LED display series, which we'll cover, and we're going to do a video at Infocom, so stand by for that. And then this really cool dataLand LA. So if you live in Los Angeles, it is in Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles. It's called dataLand. I think tickets are around $50. And if you are a tech person or you just love art, or you just want to, or you're just into really amazing experiences, it is worthwhile. It is undescribable, the experience that happens in this particular facility. All right. So by the way, Phil, thank you for coming and talk to me a little bit about this, because I was excited about it. And I shot all this footage, and I have all this footage, and I was like, I need to tell people about this, but I didn't want to do some seriously, written article, because I think those are kind of boring sometimes. So it was nice just to come here and talk to you about it.
I mean, it was back in the 1950s. They had the shockers underneath the seats in the movie theaters. It's like, trying to get as much sensory involvement. I mean, that's what 40X is right now. You've got great video, great sound. They've got smell, and they've got, feelings as well, the seats. So, yeah, it's nice to see this concept expanding into, an art installation. So, pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah, so we're going to provide some more information on screen about where you can go and log on to see where you can find out about tickets and check out the website. It's really, really cool. So thank you, Epson, for inviting me to this event. So take care, everyone, and we will talk to you soon.